Alright, boys. Okay, so I'm making a video that I think a lot of you will find relatable. Okay, especially if you go to the gym. Okay, so most of you gym goers understand this, but I know a lot of you are gonna think some crazy-ish when I say this. Okay, a lot of the habits that we do sometimes tend to be painful, and not in a manner that's like injurious. Not like, oh, I broke my arm, that's painful. More like just like mentally painful, right? Not actually physically painful. And by no means do I describe painful as something that's like physically painful or hurting you, because that's something you should probably see the doctor for, things like that. When I mean painful, I only mean like in the state of mind, basically. And okay, my thoughts around this is I have basically one framework for this. I don't have many. I think I might have had some in the past if I journal enough about it, but I haven't. But as of right now, the framework is, and I know how a lot of you are gonna react to this, but you basically learn to fall in love with the pain. Okay, you romanticize it, and I'm not saying some weird shit like you moan to it, or some weird creepy shit like that. Like, no, like you don't romanticize it like that. Like, you're not like trying to smooch up on it and shit. Like, what I'm trying to say is you, you and I know what a lot of you are thinking. You're like, because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Die, die, die. Or some stupid shit like that. Like some fucking, emo punk. I listen to that shit, by the way. It's fire. But like, okay, listen. What I really mean by that is like you truly enjoy the struggle and you enjoy the pain. Like you're almost fighting it. Like, I talked about this in my fear video, right? I talked about this in my fear video. Like, when you have a certain fear over something, you almost kind of have to fight fire with fire. And Peterson has always said this too. Is like, to beat the monster. I think I'm paraphrasing this. Maybe it's not even his words, but like, and I apologize if it isn't. But it's like, to beat the monster, you must become the monster, right? So kind of like that. So that's what I said about fear. It's like, for me, fear is like a black like figure, like a weird shadowy black figure that I'm sitting right in front of, and I'm just staring dead in the eye, and I kind of have to become it so it fears me. Like I have to become like I have to think of myself as such a badass and like something so sick that I'm more twisted than my fear. Like, I'm more, I guess, like it starts to fear me. Like, that's how I start thinking about fear. Like, my fear fears me. That's how I start thinking about it. So same thing with my pain. Like, I just think about how my pain fears me, and I'm literally coming after it. Like, pause. That sounded kind of gay, but like, listen. What I mean is, like, so for example, in the gym, like, you experience physical pain when you're going to failure. Not like the kind of pain when you're like, you're about to break your arm or some shit, but the kind of pain that's like muscular failure. You know what? A lot of you gym goers know what I'm talking about, right? So in that moment, you kind of break through. I kind of break through that barrier by telling me, like, it's like that David Goggins shit. It's like, you know, uh, what does he say? He goes something like, who's gonna bring the boats or some shit like that. Like, I can't remember, but who's gonna lift the boats? You know, they don't know me, son. They don't know me, son. That kind of stuff. So I think that's his way of doing it, but my way is like literally looking my pain in the eyes and saying I'm literally just better than it, and powering past it. Like, how much can it stop me? How much can it stop me? That's what I think. I don't know if that's particularly unhealthy or not, but that's what's helped me grow as an individual in the gym, like, exponentially. So that's the framework in which I think about pain, okay? Nice and easy. It's just any negative emotion for that matter. I just kind of like challenge it. Not in like a, like, I don't. Let me think about how to describe this better, because it's almost like it'll keep hitting me and it'll keep hitting me, but I'll just keep going. It's kind of like that scene in Demon Slayer. I don't know if any of you have seen the recent arc, but the guy who's shaping up the sword or whatever, he's getting hit so many times, but he just keeps shaping up the sword. It's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, you're so concentrated and focused on the work that any pain that comes with it, you're just not focused on it. Like my pain keeps hitting at me and it keeps going and it keeps going, but I just don't care. Like, and then of course at one point, my muscle actually gives in. So there'll be a point in time where when you're working out, your mind will cave in before your muscle does, and that's where you learn to push to failure, and then you actually push to failure, like physically and mentally. You're like, wow, I could keep going, but like that's what it means to hit muscular failure. It's like when you're in the mindset of, okay, my mind's telling me no, but my body's saying yes, right? You keep going until your body says no, and then your mind is like either done or it's still like, it's like psyched up. Mine gets psyched up, but that's just, yeah, that's basically just how I think about pain. And I think that honestly serves me, even if people see that as like a very painful way of viewing it or a really weird way of viewing it. Like most gym goers will understand that, like, you almost love the struggle, you love the pain of it. And knowing that others will also have to do the same if they want to achieve the same thing you have, or the same patience that you have, or the same willpower, or whatever you want to call it, or the same strength, or the same like endurance of pain that you have per se. So almost like fantasies like that, I guess. But yeah, I think that can actually be a great framework for how you view pain, as long as you of course keep the boundaries of like, okay, like I'm gonna face my pain, but like not like break my arm or some shit. Like, okay, let's not be silly, okay? But yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's all I got for you. Peace. Take it easy.